Do we wanna throw it in here right now? It's a
I
big
think we
question.
should. I
Okay,
think
let's
we
do it.
should.
The return of a long-awaited segment, a legend concept.
Oh no, there's another squad attacking.
Okay, what are you thinking? We're 40 minutes in. Do we wanna throw it in here right now? It's a
I
big
think we
question.
should. I
Okay,
think
let's
we
do it.
should.
The return of a long-awaited segment, a legend concept. I'm gonna read through this. This one's coming from our Discord from some random guardian, and guys, we're working towards getting legend concepts back on the show more. So if you really like this, let us know, and we'll try and feature it even more. Call sign Thunderclap. Real name Ava Shimeri. Whoa, we're gonna upset some people with pronunciation today, and I apologize for that. Some lore. We kind of got some bullet point lore. She's a real big fan of Watson. Ava's also a scientist. She studied weather patterns and chemicals, both having effects on one another. She discovered a chemical that could allow you to make a bolt of lightning when it was exposed to oxygen. She discovered a way to direct and store the lightning and developed those into weapons and at the direction of her bosses. She then realized that with these weapons, she could be more like Watson, and so she joined the arenas, and from there, she joined the Apex games. I love that. Arenas to the games segue. Some personality traits. Ava's kind, calm, starstruck over the legends of Watson, but also a true creative at heart. It's been a while since we've done this. Do we want me to go passive and then thoughts and tactical then thoughts, or do we just want to roll through all of them?
Yeah, I think we can do each ability,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll be perfect for this legend.
Perfect. We're on with the first passive. We got Storm Wall. When inside a heat shield, Ava supercharges the shield and it projects a barrier that has 400 health. Basically, a Gibby Dome, but with low health. The barrier disappears when she's outside of it, and if she re enters it, it will have the same health as when it was last up. It takes 1 second for the shield to activate or reactivate, 0 seconds to deactivate. All thunderclaps can trigger this on any heat shield, but each only get one barrier. She also has a second passive, static discharge. After running for a while, minimum 50 meters, caps at 200 meters, thunderclap generates static that can be used in two ways. One, buffs the next melee attack you make by 5 to 20 damage, divide your distance by 10, or buff the number of your ult effects by 2 to 8, which we'll cover in the ults obviously later. Thoughts on the passive though, because I think the abilities here are awesome for this legend.
It's really cool. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I, we think that heat shields are one of the most strange, unique decisions and
Strange.
pieces of Apex equipment ever. And so tying a legend to them is a really cool idea to give them a little bit more substance, which
Mm-hmm.
I like. But the idea of having a passive that works as a charging device for other abilities is something I really love. You know, we've been talking about how could you make a support legend that could help other legends with their abilities for a long, long time. This isn't exactly that, but is maybe even better because it allows you to act in order to get rewarded with other abilities and other actions, which is really cool.
I think this is a really cool one, and yeah, that concept that you were mentioning, I love that. But and this ability specifically, the fact that this whole using a heat shield as a Gibby Dome thing, but then you also like you can't bubble fight with it. It's not like you're going to be able to throw heat shields and go bubble fight because when you step in and out, it'll activate and deactivate, and then that kind of ruins the purpose of it. And so it truly is just turning this heat shield into a nice little shield. So I don't think it feels like this crazy overpowered thing. Maybe I'd be proven wrong though if it was put in the games and we saw something like it. Tactical. The Thunderclap tactical is Thunder Burst. We got a lot of thunder here. It's on a 30-second cooldown. Takes 1 second of charging, and you can release by releasing the tactical button. Goes 100 meters and can hit multiple people if they're lined up. Travels instantly, has a very small hitbox, deals 20 damage, and unloads your weapons. We're talking skill shot here, essentially.
Love
Skill
it.
shot of all skill shots. Mm-hmm.
I love it. You know, Seer was a hit and a miss with this idea of a tunnel ability where you could send out a cylinder that would
Mm-hmm.
affect legends in the pathway. Unloading people's weapons would be so awesome.
So
And
cool.
it is something that, I mean, first off, this is powerful. And we love
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
powerful abilities because it's really hard to puncture through the top legends and become viable in Apex. So you need to pack a punch in your legend
Mm-hmm.
concepts. And I think we're on the right track here. We do run the risk of not having good feedback on, okay, did
Mm-hmm.
I hit them? Is this really having an effect? I think adding icons to this person is unloaded at the
Yeah.
moment could be nice. Similar to how Seer kind of sees health bars. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
could see, magazine capacity for
Mm-hmm.
duration. So did they reload or not? How much did they reload? If it was a 30/30 or something. Um, this is cool though, and extremely powerful.
I love stuff that just does anything with weapons because,
Hmm.
yeah, then you immediately get power and it's quite fascinating. I do like the whole concept of really creating a difficult skill shot that can just be quite impactful, but really fun. The worry with this is obviously it has that 100-meter range. You're probably not going to use it at that range. I
Yeah.
love that you can hit multiple people, though. Is it going to be like something like this? My concern is it too easy in close quarters to then get such a big advantage? That's like where
Yeah.
I think that balancing essentially will come into how hard it is to hit the shot. And it could be cool though. And I'm just thinking of such a great animation of this electricity just shooting out towards these people. And all of a sudden the guns have, like, if you get hit, your guns will spark and light up and the mag falls out or something. And it could just look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I could envision a really small hitbox almost for something
Mm-hmm.
like this, similar to like a Titanfall laser shot or something, where it's
Mm-hmm.
pinpoint in order to combat that kind of close quarters, serious like destruction of anything.
Yeah.
Um, I think you could work with something like that and make it pretty rewarding to use.
Yeah. That could be cool. Okay. For the ultimate, we got Thunderstorm, 2.5 minute cooldown. Throw a grenade that splits into 8 others in a spread pattern that goes up to 20 meters away from the center on a flat plane. Each new grenade moves at just under sprinting speed, towards the closest enemy within 10 meters of the grenade. Each grenade can go up to 50 meters away from the center before deactivating. Each grenade does 10 damage. More grenades are added if the passive is active. So obviously remember, for the passive, if you run, you can buff your ultimate effect by 2 to 8. So adding up to those kind of like max number of grenades. But I hear this and I just start thinking tick grenade from Titanfall. And I think that it seems like, oh, you're gonna hit this, right? Like you're gonna throw this out. It can travel 50 meters. 50 meters pretty far. How fast does it do it? Like how fast does just under sprinting feel in the game would be quite interesting to me. 10 damage though, not a ton. Like, do you think that that's counteracted by these maybe stacking on top of one another, or the ease of use of potentially using it makes up for it?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is similar to a fuse knuckle cluster, which we both feel is a very powerful ability in the game
Mm-hmm.
that really packs a punch. You're doing 50 to 75, 80 damage if you're sticking a knuckle cluster right now. It's pretty significant. We're looking at kind of the same deal where
Mm-hmm.
if you have a knuckle cluster, but it's a homing knuckle cluster that's going to
Yeah.
follow enemies, which is quite cool. Um, but depending on how many there are, yeah, it could be pretty overwhelming if you have these mini grenades following you around and there's no real counter. So it's
Yeah.
not going to do a huge amount of damage if you do get hit, but if you get hit by a lot of them, man,
Yeah.
that's not good. So I see this as pretty interesting because it's kind of defensive. You put this
Mm-hmm.
down on the first floor of a building and you say, "Don't come in here because I'm going to chase you out with grenades if you do." Um, so I think it's really cool in terms of play style and
Mm-hmm.
application. It's very unique, even though it has some similarities to Fuse's tactical.
Yeah. I'll say this is another one that would be quite interesting to kind of see the UI behind it.
Hmm.
And that would be impactful, kind of how it is diffused ultimate on if it's really strong or not in a way. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out for. But overall, I really like this legend. I think this is a really fun one. And yeah, throw your legend concepts in our Discord channel and we will check them out. We always try and comment on them when possible if you tag us. But yeah, we'll hopefully try and get them on the show again in the future if you guys enjoy kind of us revisiting this idea again. But great job. I love this one. Any final thoughts you got?
No, that was fun.
Boom! Whole squad down.
Hey, brother, not today. Maybe tomorrow.